identity crisis is a problem of not knowing about one's identity, especially the cultural identity. Most people who have identity crisis are very well educated, but they lack the self-awareness, the ability to know that this is cultural identity and this is political identity. For some, they mistake their political identity for their cultural identity. But there's a big difference between cultural identity and political identity. Most people have failed to distinguish between political identity and cultural identity. What I just typed in the topic today as a title is, not everyone in Anioma has identity crisis. The word Anioma is an acronym and it's in itself a political identity. An identity used to describe the people of Aniocha, Ndokwa, Ika, Oshimili. And then the MOA is just to make it complete as an Igbo word. It is a political identity. The real cultural identity inherent is Igbo. Every of these groups that I described are Igbo speaking people. They are among the tribes in Igbo land. Just like you have Unkwere, you have Onsoka, you have Afi Igbo, you have Okiigwe, you have Owere. That same way we have Ika, Ndokwa, which is also referred as Okwani. They believe that Okwani is their identity, not even Ndokwa. And then we have the Enuani people comprising of Aniocha and Oshimili people. The Oshimili people are the riverine areas. That is why the name Oshimili. The Enuani are the people who live upland. That is Enuani, upland, the upland dwellers. Okwani are the lowland dwellers. These are Igbo descriptions in terms of geography. So, identity crisis can occur in a very educated person. You can see a person who has doctorate degree, master's degree, even up to the level of PhD, but yet they have identity crisis. Being aware of your cultural identity most times is not because of education. Identity crisis is a lack of self-awareness in the area of cultural identity. Not being able to distinguish that Igbo is your cultural identity, while Delta is your political identity. Not being able to know that Igbo is your cultural identity, Ikwere is your tribe, and Rivers State is your political identity. Most people don't know this. They say, I am from Rivers State. Where are you from? What tribe are you from? Say, I am from Rivers State, which is wrong. Rivers State is not a tribe. Edo State is not a tribe. Imo State is not a tribe. Okay? These are political identities. Nigeria is not a tribe as well. It's a political identity. Your real cultural identity is Igbo. While in Igbo land, there are many tribes. So no one is trying to say, forget about being Ika and become Igbo. You can still be Ika while being Igbo. You can still be Enuane while being Igbo. You can still be your Ikwere while being Igbo, because Ikwere is one of the tribes in Igbo land. These tribes are under the larger ethnic group of Igbo. What I'm teaching here is very important, because even professors that I have seen, senior advocates of Nigeria that I have seen, some exhibit traces of identity crisis. This is what leads me to the next topic. I'm going to share a video with us later today, especially when most of the viewers of this channel have finally come online. I know a lot of people are busy. It's a busy day, even the time of the day that it is. Most people are not online. So the few who are online watching this video, kindly double tap it and share to your audience. We may have about 30 minutes or 1 hour to spend, but we're going to use it very judiciously. Inonemado, awashano nwe, awashane ebo sibia. O wenyende akpashana. Nke izizi. Nke mbụ bụ na ezinụlọ onye osi bịa ndị mụ na-akọwanina. Some parents have identity crisis, so you will expect that identity crisis to double in the children, because a father who has identity crisis will definitely raise children who have double identity crisis. If my father never projected in me that we are Igbos and that he is Igbo. Most of his works outside our terrain. He worked in Yoruba land, worked in Hausa land. He was fully regarded as an Igbo person. And his name, Ogochukwu, an Igbo name. His father's name, Moasha, an Igbo name. Grandfather's name. So, I know my genealogy that we are from a lineage of Igbo-speaking people. And we are Igbos. If my father never taught me that, assuming he taught me something different, I will grow up with identity crisis unless I have the wisdom again to go and do ancestry DNA test, which can invalidate what my father has wrongly taught. But I was lucky enough to have a father who has the self-awareness about his own cultural identity. Idron na majuju, idron di majuju na asụsụ anyị, n'oyibo, ọzai na asụsụ Igbo, wela atutu inu zaya. So you have no other option than to learn that language, especially with proverbs. So, I want to ask you, do you know that this year alone, this is 2025, the people of Anioma have done 3 different protests, very, very strong protests. When I say people of Anioma, you may say, these are Anioma people. It is not the whole of Anioma. It is just Asaba. So I can rightly say that the people of Asaba have done 3 good protests. They did the first protest in February 2025. The protest was taken to government house. And this time it was not just Asaba. It was the people of Anyocha-Oshimili Federal Constituency that did this protest. They were calling on the presidency to make sure that they are included in the Southeast. Follow me. You will be shocked by all these revelations I'm making. And I'm going to back them up with video. When I'm through with this video, I will unveil the video. The people of Anyocha-Oshimili Federal Constituency, constituting of Anyocha South, Anyocha North, Oshimili South, and Oshimili North, carried out a protest to Delta State Government House, calling on the governor to intervene and ensure that they are included as part of the Southeast Development Commission. Now they have heard that there's a Southeast Development Commission created by the presidency to tackle the unique challenges faced by Ndi Igbo who are in the Southeast. Just like you have NDDC. So, they were led in this protest by none other than the member representing Anyocha-Oshimili Federal Constituency, Honorable Ngozi Lawrence Okolie. Okolie led this protest, insisting, Okolie is an Asaba man, by the way, insisting that Asaba and all other neighboring areas in Anyocha-Oshimili be included among the Southeast Development Commission communities under the Southeast Development Commission. Do you know what that means? It means now Anioma, they were protesting for Anioma people to become part of Southeast. That was in February 2025.
Have staged a peaceful protest to the Delta State Government House, Asaba, demanding the inclusion of their area into the Southeast Development Commission bill, which is before President Bola Tinubu. Ikenna Mechi reports.
On the 22nd of February this year, the Senate passed a bill seeking to establish the Southeast Development Commission, and it is waiting for the signature of President Bola Tinubu to become a law. These youth from Anyocha-Oshimili Federal Constituency are calling for an adjustment of the bill to include their area before it is assented to by Mr. President. They are at the Delta State Government House to pass their message through the governor.
We are here today to plead, to first of all appreciate the President for the initiative of Southeastern Development Commission. It is a good one. We are here to plead on behalf of the people of Anyocha-Oshimili for the President to include the people of Anyocha-Oshimili in Southeastern Development Commission.
The main reason because we are living together. Most of the Southeastern, they live here in Asaba. So we can't be hosting them and we won't benefit from what is coming out from there. They cannot carry the whole development down to, across the Niger.
They were received by the Chief of Staff of Government House, who promised to take their message to the governor, but urges them to go through the appropriate quarters, their representatives.
Apparently, it's not a concern for the state government, it's a concern for the federal government. But whatever it is, I'm going to pass on your message to the governor So, but essentially you need to channel your agitation or your feelings to your representatives.
The member representing Aniocha Oshimili in the House of Representatives is Ngozi Okolie, and he supports the agitation.
I'm happy that our people are creating awareness about it, and if you notice, most of the people from the southeast actually reside in Aniocha Oshimili, and it would be proper for Aniocha Oshimili to be included in the development commission, because since the insecurity in the southeast, quite a number of them have moved here, and they felt that this place is home. They vote here, they live here, and don't forget too that Asaba was at the heart of the Civil War. A lot of our people were actually killed during the Civil War.
And then later on, I think in May, a conference was held in Grand Hotel Asaba. It was held at Grand Hotel Asaba. Senator Ned Nwoko was canvassing for support for his quest to demand for the creation of Anioma State. And a prominent chief of Asaba attended, and Chief Edozien. Now, Chief Edozien particularly spoke. In his speech, he maintained that this quest for the creation of Anioma State is a long-standing vision of his brother, the then Asaba of Asaba, Obi Professor Chike Edozie, who, in his words, is no longer here. He has already passed. But he was saying that if he was alive, this is the kind of event that he worked for all his life. To see Ndi Igbo united, and to also see that we have our own state. The words of Edozie.
Two things. First, Anioma no dey carry last. When you look at our population of nearly 2 million, we pass some countries for the whole world that comes to less population. When you look at our land area, about 6,300 square kilometers, we are bigger than some countries in this world. Not to talk about some states. So we have what it takes. The other thing, we have heard that this is the oldest state creation movement in the country. And people are saying 50 years, 50 years. That is because they are tracing it back to the Ibikefe panel in the 70s. But actually, as far back as the 60s, there had been movement for Asaba and their board divisions to be excised and have a province of their own out of the old western region. So you can say this movement has been on for about 70 years. If something has been on for about 70 years, it's painful. It's painful if somebody, one of us, will come out and say it is a political stunt. It is not. And I'm sure you all agree with me that it is not a political stunt. And we want to thank our distinguished senator. He has acknowledged, he has acknowledged that he did not start it, but he is confident that he will finish it. And by the grace of God, he will finish it. Now, one of the key issues of debate has been the Southeast question. I want to say, it did not start today as well. If you go back to the proceedings of the Constituent Assembly and all the minutes of the previous state creation committees, you will see it has been proposed in the past that Anioma should be part of the Southeast in the creation of new states. So let us not allow that to spoil our movement. One or two points before I finish. First, our benefits in creation of new states. Let us also be saying it is also for the benefit of the rest of Delta states, Central and South. Those things that come to us will also be going to them. The new capital, the concepts of government to the people, everything. So we also need their support. Finally, before I close the sentence, let me pay tribute to our father, Nyanyagu, who would have so loved to be here today. He fought tirelessly for this cause. May his soul rest in peace. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, let us put the question to you. Are you in support of the motion as proposed by Honorable Osai and Osai? I take it that there are no names.
After that conference, we still continued until we started hearing little tiny voices that say we are no longer Igbos and we are not part of the Southeast. We are Igala people. We are Bini people. We are Yoruba people. In fact, there are different groups of people in Anioma. Therefore, don't classify all of us as Igbo. Don't paint us with one brush. That was the point where everything broke. That was the breaking point. That was the point where our Igbo brothers in the South started feeling betrayed. At what point did you change your opinion that you are no longer Igbo, or that you no longer want to be one and the same with the people of Southeast? What is it about the Southeast that you don't want to be part of? What do you have that we do not have? Or what do we have that you want to avoid? What is that thing? Ngozi Okolie, in his speech in that February protest, highlighted that everything that they face in the South is we face in Asaba and other parts of Anyocha Oshimiri. And that interestingly, most Igbo people who are from the Southeast reside in Asaba and other neighboring communities. Most people from here to work in the Southeast, so we are one. That was the line used by Ngozi Okolie when pleading that Asaba be included as part of the Southeast Development Commission. So here we are. And words started coming out that, especially from the political class, there are two prominent politicians in Delta North. Two of them have gone for the senatorial position. One has also gone as governor. Both of them bear Igbo names. They are Igbo people. One is from Oshimili. The other one is from Eka. The one from Oshimili has spent 8 years in the Senate. The one from Eka spent 4 years in the Senate. And then 8 years as governor. These two men have never mentioned the word Anioma except when they want to use it for campaign. Nobody has ever clamored for Anioma people to say, give us our own state. We want to be separate. Or we want to be part or not part of the Southeast. None of them ever mentioned that word. Until this other person, Senator Ned Nwoko, entered. In just 2 years of him being in power. Of course, these people came in 2023. And this is just 2025. 2 years later. The whole country now knows there's a place called Anioma. And they are trying to create a state for it. Now they want a part in that state. And they are saying, no. Don't join us to the Southeast. Why? Because once we are joined to the Southeast as a region, these people immediately lose political relevance. If they were seeing themselves as Lord before, or maybe as former governor before, now we have many former governors in the region. They don't want that. They have never clamored anything for Anioma. You never clamored anything for the benefit of Anioma people. You have never asked for anything in our favor. Now, you want the state to be created, but not joined to the Southeast. And they think it is local Delta politics. But this is federal. This thing is coming from Abuja, where people who also know politics reside. They have already decided that this slot, one state to be created, this slot belongs to the Southeast. They are trying to give it to you. You can't have it and tell them how to use it as well. No. The slot belongs to Igbo. So if you want to have that state as a Anioma state, you will automatically become a part of the Southeast. It's as simple as that. And then these politicians started kicking, mobilizing all the people they had sponsored as stooges into the House of Assembly and the puppets they have as council chairmen to say, no, we will not accept. Sponsored them and pushed them to sign signatures, insisting they don't want to be joined. Some of them say annexed to the Southeast. I don't understand what they mean annexed. Nobody is trying to move Asaba away to Owerri. Nobody is coming from Anambra here as neighbors, not even on nature, to come and rule Anioma. But they are insisting they are not interested in being part of Igbo. And the Igbo said, okay, since you are not Igbo, or since you have suddenly realized that you are not Igbo, you want to play chameleon with us. Okay. if you are going to join us, we are putting the capital in Olo. Now we don't want Anioma, so that you don't start claiming ownership of it. We want Anioma, my good land, instead of good land. And these people started kicking further. Kuku don't create it. They would rather not have Anioma state, remain in Delta state, than have Anioma state that is joined to the southeast. Remember, in the last general election, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, who ran as a vice presidential candidate to Atiku on the platform of PDP, declared several times that he is Igbo. During his campaigns, he was asked, precisely the one I remember is the one where Shehu Okimbaloye asked him, this slot for vice presidency is for the people of Southeast. He said, no, it's for Ndi Igbo, and I am an Igbo man. I may be in the South, but I am an Igbo man and I cannot be counted out. In another interview, he said his name is Ifeanyi Chukwu. How did Ifeanyi Chukwu now drop from being Igbo to being somebody from South?
You are Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi is an Igbo name. Do you identify as an Igbo man in that sense? Or do you imagine that the perceived neglect of the zone, of the Southeast zone, could be hurtful for the chances of your party in 2023?
In the first instance, I'm Ifeanyi, and there's no doubt that I'm an Igbo man. I'm an Igbo man in Delta State, in the South-Side geopolitical zone. Secondly, there is no doubt that the Southeast has the right of agitation. And as the Southeast also has the right of agitation, the Northeast has also continued to make claims to the presidency. Because from the records available, both the Northeast and the Southeast have not been able to produce a president in this country.
How did Ifeanyi Chukwu start now, suddenly, to stop speaking on national TV, to become loudly silent? The silence is deafening. It's too loud. That silence is too loud, and we are not fools. We read meanings to it. Especially when all his political allies are the ones signing signatures to say we don't want to be part of the Southeast. But something very interesting happened 3 days ago. I had created a video to make, but due to technical faults, I lost the video. I'm still very pained because everything I said that I could have posted, I lost them. But let me give you a bit. So 3 days ago in Lagos, PAS World Center was inaugurated. PAS means they just built a skyscraper in Lagos and they just inaugurated it. And so PAS means Ponoka Attorneys and Solicitors. Now, Ponoka Attorneys and Solicitors, their biggest partner, like the owner, is Chief Dr. Anthony Ikemefune Idigbe. Now, Chief Idigbe is the Akuluono of Asaba. During the inauguration, he made a very salient speech that ended with every Asaba man is considerably an Igbo man. And he made this statement in the presence of the king of his community, Obi Professor Epiphany Chibogo Azinge. And I was very pleased. I like truthful men. But most importantly, I like men who are truthful where and when they should be. Not people who are truthful, but depending on who is around, they choose to say otherwise or to remain silent. This man expressed his truth in the presence of his king, who he knows is not preaching Igbo identity. Everyone was stunned. He said every Asaba man is considerably an Igbo man. You can type the name into your phone and search who Anthony Idigbe is. Idigbe is Idigbe. Anthony Idigbe is a senior advocate of Nigeria, a prominent son of Asaba. In fact, he is Chief Akuluono of Asaba. And he is the biggest partner of Ponoka Attorneys and Solicitors, PAS. PAS is one of the biggest law firms in Nigeria. So, as an Asaba man, he just joined a list of about 4 Asaba people that I know, prominent Asaba people who are insisting that they are Igbo. Someone has asked me the difference between Kainebisi and Nebisi. And I asked that person, what is the difference between Chukwuemeka and Emeka? They are the same thing. Kainebisi was shortened to Nebisi. Chukwuemeka is usually shortened to Emeka. Our Enuani people will say Emeke instead of Emeka. But Chukwuemeka, it all means the same thing. Kainebisi na Nebisi means the same thing. Nobody has ever tried to say Nebisi is a woman. Nebisi means let's look upon the head, or let's look on to the future to see what this child could become. Because the full name is Kainebisi Malife Nwagabo, an Igbo statement. So people are thinking that Kainebisi now means the name is an Igala name. No, it is not an Igala name. It is not an Igala name. And before the name Nebisi, we have had the names like Eze Anyanwu and the descendants of Eze Chima, who are resident in the present place called Asaba. Somebody may also want to interrogate, how did Asaba move from Asabi Ibokwe? Like a nickname. We usually have a unique nickname, because what I told people about history is that for you to study history and know the history of a people very well, ask the indigenes of that community. Then move on, ask their neighbors. Did you hear that? When you want to study the history of a community, ask their indigenes, ask their neighbors. When you want to study about the lineage, ask the people of that lineage, ask their neighbors. You will get the correct version. Now I'm coming to why I said you should ask the neighbors of Asaba. I am from a community that is neighboring to Asaba. And our community is at least, I am from Ubuluku, and Ubuluku is at least 700 years older than Asaba. You heard that right? 700 years older than Asaba. So what is it about Asaba that Ubuluku can tell you? We call them 2 names. You either say Ndi Asabu Ujom or Ndi Asabi Ibokwe. Asabi Ibokwe. Asabi Ibokwe. Asaba that belongs to Ibokwe. Ndi Ibokwe. Those are the ones that are in Okwe today. We are called Ndi Obolo Ezemu. Ndi Obolo Ezemu. That is Obolo that belongs to Ezemu. We call the Iseluku people Umolibo. That is the people who are descendants of Olibo, or in general, if it is not only Iseluku, we call all the children of Ezechima Ndi Umu Ezechime. Similarly, Ogwashuku people are called Umuadaibo, because Odaibo is their father. That same way, Asaba people are called Asaba. We just call it Asaba. The real Ubuluku people will call it Ashaba. Ashabam, I have chosen well. I have chosen well. Ashabam. We have a community that bears similar name. Ashama. Ashamam. Sha means to choose. Some people who are our neighbors like Ogwashuku can call Asaba Ahaba. Even Ahaba people, the real Asaba people call it Ahabam. I have chosen well, not Asaba. It is we, because of our tone, that call it Ashaba. So it is fully by nomenclature. That is the name. You know, when a community is about to be founded, one interesting thing to know is the name of that community. If they are Igbo people, their name will be Igbo. So the name of the community in itself by foundation is Igbo. So I applaud Professor Anthony Idigbe, SAN, for his courage to speak up that every Asaba man, he did not say some parts of Asaba, so that everybody will know they are included. And their king was even seated there. I was very pleased that every Asaba man is considerably an Igbo man. Then he delved into the creation of Anioma State by saying, no part of Igbo land should claim superiority over the other. No part of Igbo land should claim superiority or ownership over the other. This simply shows that he considers this part Igbo land.